Wife cheated and I turned her birthday into genius revenge that she'll never forget. Gather round, boy and girls, because it's time for the story of my cheating ex-wife, and how I fecked her. Now bear with me as this is a bit of a long one, but duck it. So I had a feeling she was cheating as she set off a lot of red flags. Constantly laughing and smiling when texting, saying it was just her mother when I asked. Needing to stay late every night after work. When I'd call and her coworkers said she left hours ago. When I asked her what was going on, she'd laugh it off and say it was just something they did to each other at the office all the time. The last straw to where I knew something was definitely up was when she went out to get milk at 11:30 at night and didn't come back till 2 in the morning. Now, if there is any words of wisdom I can pass on to others in all my years of experience, it's if you think your significant other is cheating, hire a ducking private investigator. They're goddamn good at what they do, and they will get some evidence that really helps in the later divorce. Fast track to her birthday, several months down the road. Now I know what you're thinking, why the hell did I wait months before I confronted her, and did it really need to be on her birthday? The answer to the first question is I wanted as much evidence as possible to hand off to my lawyer, as well as make arrangements to find a new place to live, etc. Answer to your second question is of course it had to be on her birthday. You see, after asking her what she wanted to do on her birthday this year, she was rather insisted on me going out of town with my friends as she just had to work anyways and didn't want to be reminded she was aging. So I know something is up, and after finding a bottle of champagne and 2 glasses hidden in my closest something in my snaps. So I do what any sensible man would have done. I leave and go to my friend's house pretending like I am going out of town. While there I call up her mother, father, sister and several of her friends. I tell them how I want to give her a big surprise by sneaking into her room with party streamers, kazoos and a big cake with candles. Sounds fun, right? Well, boy, was it. It's 8:30 in the morning, and I have everyone met just outside our apartment. We all pile in the elevator, about 8 of us in total, her mother holding the cake, and me reminding everyone to be as quiet as they can be. I put my key in and unlock the door, we all sneak in, and make our way down the hall towards the bedroom. Each hold a kazoo and mom holding the cake, grinning from ear to ear. Well, as I throw open the door, and we all yell surprise. But the surprise was on us, and there was my wife, duck in doggy-style position with her lover staring at us wide-eyed mid-thrust. Mom drops the cake, sister screams, father begins to shout. I pretend like I'm horrified, to which her friends try to push everyone out while yelling at her. Wife, excuse me, ex-wife is sobbing and screaming how could I, while the lover is desperately trying to put his pants on while running out of the place. Needless to say, it was one of the best birthday presents I have ever given. Update. So directly afterwards her mom was too busy trying to clean off the ducking cake from the ground. The sister literally had to push her out of our apartment to get her to stop. The dad at first tried chasing the guy, but came back to check on everyone. He kind of just looked at me as if, I'm so sorry, before taking the mom to the car. As for my lovely ex, she literally just blamed everyone in the room. Blamed the parents for coming into our apartment without telling her, the sister for being a witch, didn't understand that one at all, hell, she even blamed the friends for not telling her about the surprise. She didn't try to explain herself to me, just called me name after name and threw stuff at me. It was so surreal. I had this expectation that she would be clutching me and try to stop me from leaving, telling me how sorry she was. I thought it would be like the movies. But no, there was the woman I had loved for 2 years screaming and hitting me, telling me I had ruined her relationship with this other guy. I guess in her mind she just completely stopped seeing me as her husband, but more as just her roommate. Last I heard she had moved in with the guy, or at least I think it was him. She had gotten pregnant and most likely has the kid. If they're still together, I really couldn't tell you. At this point I just hope she found some happiness, even if it's not me being the one who gives it to her. Update. Duck, sorry everyone. Was about to respond when I saw I had a bunch of requests as to what happened next, so here it is. Well, to be honest, it was funny as hell at first. I tried to disguise my laughing by pretending I was choking up. After so long of being betrayed, I was the one who got to have the last laugh. Plus, since I had hired the private investigator, I was able to prove she was using my money to pay for things for her lover, hotels, dinners, etc. So I did get some compensation for that. Though, she still did get half of my life's savings, ducking which. But I was young and just starting out, so the amount I had then is pretty laughable now. So then reality sets it. Your marriage is over. The woman you fell in love with has betrayed you, and the last 2 years of your life were a bit of a waste. In the end, it's not even about the money. I really thought I loved this girl, why didn't she love me? For the longest time I wondered what was wrong with me, and if anyone would truly be able to love me. Not to mention I was really close to her dad. Mine left when I was younger, and I never spoke to him since then, so hers kind of took me under her wing. Kind of the father I never had. I still call him from time to time, share with him my accomplishments as they come, and even stop by to see him when I get a chance. Divorce is never fun, boys and girls, and take my advice. When you're young and in love, don't be foolish and run into something. Take some time to really get to know the other person. Wait 3 to 5 years. Move in together. I wish someone had just pulled me aside and said, "Man, think about what you're doing. Maybe you should give it some time." Also, another piece of advice. The old saying about you know how a girl really is by how she treats her parents. This is absolutely true. She was a total witch to her parents, that should have been my first red flag. We have reached the end of the story. Let's listen to some of the comments by our Reddit listeners. Comment 1. Hey man, much respect for having to deal with that, and even the bit at the end where you're able to hope she gets her own happiness. I got a lot of satisfaction reading this story, although I wish you never had to deal with that pain in the first place. You handled it like a champ. Some people can only dream about getting that kind of justice. Original posters reply. If life was all roses and daisies, that would be one ducking boring but life. To be honest, I hope you all have something which is the equivalent of life slapping you across the face. I don't mean this maliciously, but from these experiences we grow into better people. Sometimes we need a little reminder what pain feels like. Here's a little quote that always stuck with me. You know that pain and guilt can't be taken away with a wave of a magic wand. They're the things we carry with us, the things that make us who we are. If we lose them, we lose ourselves. I don't know if any of you will take any meaning from it, but it's always brought me a little bit of comfort. Anyways, thanks so much for taking the time to read. I hope it made your day even just a little bit better. Comment 2. How do you not know for sure what she is up to if you are still chatting to / popping in to see her dad? Original posters reply. Like I said before, I never really had a dad, and he kind of became mine. Hell, first time in my life anyone ever really told me they were proud of me came from that man's lips. So when I do see him, we talk about happy things, or if I need advice on something. He knows I don't want to know what she's been up to and I don't ask. Comment 3. As I read your post, a sly grin came over me, wanting her to reap what she'd sown. I wasn't disappointed, sir. Excellent use of pro-revenge. I'd be mortified if my folks walked in me and the BF. I'd be mortified for life if they walked in with my BF while I was cheating on him. I'd never be able to live it down. Never. Original posters reply. When I visit her dad, she never really gets brought up, so I can't really be sure how her life is as of now. She was never really close to her parents, I always thought it was just a phase. But yeah, having her parents watched her getting f***ed definitely didn't help the relationship. Comment 4. So what happened afterwards? What did her parents say? Original posters reply. Her mom was pretty broken up. God, that crap still sticks with me today. This middle-aged woman sobbing uncontrollably while looking for something to clean the cake off from the floor. Her father couldn't even look at me, nor I him. The response I posted kind of says why. I think we were both ashamed. He, because his daughter did this to me. I, because I thought I had lost my dad again. Comment 5. And that last part hit me. I'm glad you're able to connect with him after everything that happened. Sounds painful, but glad you're in a better place. Original poster's reply. Thanks for that. It was tough at first, but life goes on. Then you realize each day it gets a little easier, until finally every now and then you'll stop and realize how you hadn't thought about them in such a long time. Comment 6. Out of curiosity, I'm assuming that you used the PI's intel during the divorce proceedings. This implies that you knew the whole time and set up the party on her birthday. Did the rest of the family ever put this together? Were there repercussions? Original poster's reply. Posted this as a reply to another commenter. Hope it answers your question. If not, let me know. I guess I don't know what their reaction to realizing it was a plan of mine was. Other than her father, I wasn't in contact with any of the friends there. I saw the mother occasionally and she was always polite, asking me how I was doing and giving me a hug. The sister lived out of state, so I haven't seen her since. I guess people just wanted to put the past behind them. I told her father in person that it was my plan for her to get caught, and he just said it was all he could do not to laugh at the mother trying to clean up the cake. That's all we've ever said about it. Comment 7. I feel so bad for your ex-mother-in-law. She sounds like such a sweet lady for trying to clean up the cake like that. I wish I could transmit a hug back in time. Original poster's reply. If you only knew. That woman without a question deserved a lot more. Whenever I visit, I'm always sure to bring her some flowers. You'd think I was buying her a new car or something. People always seem to forget nowadays that a little thought can go a long ways. Comment 8. Did her friends not know? I would imagine at least one of them knew what she was up to and would have called her to give her a heads up. Original poster's reply. To be honest, I really couldn't tell you. I'm not sure if one of them did know and wanted her to get caught, or if she had kept it all a secret from everyone to add more excitement to it. Maybe they just didn't expect this guy to half deep inside of her when that door opened. Comment 9. I had to scroll down to find this question being asked as I was shocked this could happen. How on earth does she still benefit from the divorce after what happened? This part infuriates me. Original poster's reply. That's the way life is sometimes, my friend. It's true the system has its flaws, but I like to think it's like this to help some deserving people out. In the end, it's only money. I have an experience which has made me into the man I am today. That itself is priceless. Wife, 34F, admitted to cheating. We have a 3-year-old autistic son. I'm, 37M, overwhelmed. Our relationship has been strained lately with her working nights and I working days. Because our son has special needs, a standard babysitter/childcare isn't possible and specialized care isn't available or financially feasible. He has a few hours a week at school in a therapy setting, otherwise he is with one of us. Because of the schedules, we have been the ships passing in the night. Most days we get 10 minutes to see each other. Not a perfect situation, and it's something I wanted to fix. I've been sleeping in the guest room so that she can decompress and get some quality sleep alone. It was not something I wanted to do, but for her benefit, I thought it would help her sleeplessness. Our sex life has been non-existent for a long time. In the past few months, when we have talked, she would mention things like we should try an open relationship because I don't like sex anymore and you should be free to explore, and getting married has screwed up our finances. We should get an on-paper divorce. I never took her that seriously because she said them in such a joking tone. Lately, she had mentioned that she feels like we're great roommates. She has also wanted to go out with her friends more often on her nights off. I'm not the type for that, so I stay home with our son. Admittedly, a special needs child can be very difficult. Her having a night off was completely understandable. Come to 2 weeks ago, I asked to sit down to talk about our relationship. She agreed to talk the next day, and I actually sent her an email of questions I had on my mind. Questions like, how would you describe our relationship, and do you want to share a bed anymore? And most importantly, have you had sex outside of our marriage? We sat down after our son was in bed and had the talk. We talked for a few minutes about what she thought of our relationship. She said she doesn't see us as a couple anymore. She started to cry. Then she said, "You asked if I've had sex with anyone else. The answer is yes." It immediately hit me like a ton of bricks. I had asked the question more out of peace of mind for me rather than a confirmation. I had suspicions before, but I thought they were all in my head. We talked for 2 hours. I said very little and tried to keep my anger in check. But here's what was revealed. She did not want to talk about details of the other relationship with me. That doesn't matter. She admitted to it happening more than once. And it was premeditated. She had gone out with my blessing to hang out with friends knowing that she was going to cheat. The affair is not still going on, but she was still talking to the person. She wasn't necessarily interested in a romantic or sexual relationship outside of our marriage right now, but she's open to anything. She didn't realize until recently that she's probably not really into the whole monogamy thing. As for our relationship, we're done, and she wanted me out of the bedroom completely. She wants to remain in the house to co-parent, not just because we have to, but because she wants to. You're a great dad, and that part of you I still really care about. She kept saying we don't have to make any decisions right now, and I know it's a lot. Also, I don't hate you. I still care about you. And I'm sure you hate me. Since then, I've moved upstairs. I've initiated a separation of our finances and healthcare. That conversation resulted in her crying and saying this is a lot right now. But she has relented. She's also said that she's depressed and mourning losing her best friend and retreats to her room frequently. I've mentioned divorce, her moving out, and selling the house, all of which are returned with vague warnings of expense and difficulty. And disrupting our son. Conversations with my friends say she's gaslighting me or manipulating the situation, so that she gets to have her cake and eat it too. I've come to believe that having her move out may be difficult for our son, but it's what's best for my mental health, and that's ultimately best for my son. But I have no idea how to make it happen. I feel so lost and broken. Just typing this up has taken a few days, because I can't get through it all. All I think about is how I wanted to fix our relationship, and how she put someone else above spending time with us. She used my dependability as a father for her selfish reasons. Then I think about being kind to her so that she can stay in our child's life. He will need both of us. It's sadness, then pain, then anger, then a few minutes of numbness before it starts again. Ugh. Merry Christmas to me. Thank you for reading, and I'll welcome any advice or questions. Update/more info. Thank you all for the wonderful support. I didn't know how much interest a rambling, shambling post like this would receive. So I'll add a few more pieces of information. As I said below, some of the nights out were explained as work-related social events. Or with friends from work that I don't know. Obviously now I can't trust that info very much. I am sure that one of the nights she cheated, it was described as a mom's night off where I took my son to play at an indoor playground so WS could get ready, then take an Uber out to a bar. Brutal when I realized that one. But I do know some of her friends. One of those friends is actually a female friend of mine from before the relationship. Let's call her Fran. Fran has not been in contact with WS, but I've told her the situation, and she's been helping me very kindly. I haven't asked her to verify any alibis. I also learned through Fran that WS had told another mutual friend that OM has a GF, the GF knows about the affair, and OM is trying to repair that relationship. I don't know where that leaves my WS or even how much I can trust fourth-hand info. She has apologized indirectly. She said I'm sorry that I hurt you, but she also explicitly does not regret that she cheated. This week she works most days, but we are going to try to have a normal Christmas Eve and day. Then I'm taking my son to see my family this weekend. I'll tell them what's going on then. She has told her mom that we're not together and that she cheated. Her mom is sad about the situation. In talking about her moving out, she refuses to leave until we sell the house, or I buy it back alone, and she gets her share of the equity. She said that's fair if you're going to kick me out. Also, she said that if I try to stop her from seeing our child, she will fight it. Those are the only two things she has been forceful or antagonistic about. She's open to seeing a divorce attorney or mediator whenever you want. I realize reading the above I may have made her out to be more manipulative and cold-hearted than she may be. But the facts are correct, so judge us as you will. We have reached the end of the story. Let's listen to some of the comments by our Reddit listeners. Comment 1. I think that she is using affairs as an escape valve, enabling her to temporarily escape from the pressure cooker environment of her relationship with you, and the additional difficulties looking after a special needs child. Whatever the reason, she has checked out of your marriage. She no longer respects you, and has misinterpreted your kindness and understanding of allowing her undisturbed sleep as indifference. She has not only cheated, she has done so brazenly, and is absolutely intent on keeping things that way. She appears to be selfish to the point of being delusional. There is no way that you can be expected to tolerate her unrecalcitrant behavior. You have done nothing wrong. You are completely innocent in all of this. To say that she is going to regret this is the understatement of the year. Whether she fully appreciates it or not, she was in for an extremely difficult life anyway, but has now alienated and disaffected her main support system. She is going to have a lot of time to look back on her deceitful, wayward behavior and rue the very day. There is no halfway house on this OP. For your own sake, you have to split with her. It's going to be a very difficult and probably protracted process, but it will be well worth it. I wish you and your child every happiness going forward. Good luck. Comment 2. I'll never get over cheaters playing the victim card when they cause so much pain. Honestly, you're doing great, and your friends sound like they are good ones. Just remember that everything she says is just to manipulate you. She doesn't care about you or your feelings, she is just trying to play the victim card over and over and over again. Do not trust her. Keep in mind how many times she must have lied to you in the past years. You are not to blame for any part in her abuse. She could have chosen to work on the marriage with you, but she didn't even give you a chance before stepping out. Allow yourself to grieve, and don't be hard on yourself. You are experiencing the death of the woman you thought you knew, the marriage you thought had, and the life you wanted for your child. This is no small task, but you have incredible strength, and I believe in you. Comment 3. Consult with a lawyer, file for divorce, and have her served publicly if you can. Send it to her work if she's working, and when she comes home, ask her to move out for your sake. If she doesn't snap out of this fast, not likely but a possibility, then proceed with the divorce. Comment 4. Advice and question in 1. Would you two be able to agree to an amicable divorce through a mediator, much cheaper than angry lawyers, and co-parent as you have been with each taking care of the kiddo while the other works? That would be my advice. Divorce, continue co-parenting as you have been, only difference is you'd be living separately in different residences instead of the current arrangement of living separately in the same home.